There are two options when it comes to entering invoices against your customers in Sage 50 accounts. The first is to enter a batch invoice, which enters a basic transaction to establish an outstanding balance against the customer. And the second is to enter an actual invoice that we can print and that will also adjust our stock levels accordingly. Let's start with a batch invoice. So you open Customers and click Batch Invoice. We can then choose the relevant customer and continue to enter the rest of the details. You enter the date, the due date, and a reference number. You should note that the reference number isn't generated automatically for batch invoices. You can enter an extra reference and choose the appropriate nominal code. You can then enter a department, a project reference, and some details. In this example, we'll just type sales. You enter the net amount, choose the appropriate tax code, and the VAT should calculate automatically. This can be overridden if required. If the invoice has already been paid or part paid by the customer, you can enter the amount at this point. You can then just tab down to the next line to continue entering additional batch invoice items. If the customer invoice needs to be split between different nominal codes or maybe has different tax rates applied, then you just need to break this down as separate items on the batch invoice screen. In this example, we'll just save the one item line. We'll then click Close, back to the customer list. If we highlight that customer, you can see that there's now an outstanding balance of £120. And that's how you enter a batch invoice. The second option is to enter the invoice within Invoices and Credits. Invoices entered in this area can be printed and emailed and also integrate with the products and services list. There are two formats of invoice available: product and service. In this example, we'll choose a product invoice. You then need to specify the customer. If it's a customer that you've already got set up, we can just select them from the list and click OK. The details are pulled through automatically, and then we can start entering the details of the products that we've sold. Again, we could just select the products from the list. The details of the product, such as the description and the unit price, are pulled through automatically from the product record. All you need to do is enter the quantity. To keep it simple, we'll just add the one item only and save the invoice. We'll then click Close to return to the Invoices and Credits list. As you can see, invoice number 1 has been generated for the customer and saved to the list. If we highlight the invoice, we can then print or email it. In this example, we'll send it to the printer. We'll then need to choose a layout, and we'll scroll down the list and choose the relevant layout that we want to use. Initially, when you first start using Sage 50 accounts, there are loads of layouts available, and you might just need to preview each of them in turn just to see what's closest to what you want. Each of the layouts that are available can be amended to suit your requirements. So for instance, you could add a company logo, add extra text, payment terms, etc. Once you've selected your layout, click Print, confirm your print options, and that's it done. We can then close out of the layouts list. The next step is to update the invoice to the ledgers. We'll preview the Update Ledgers report. This report shows the details of the transactions posted to the customer account and the nominal ledger. If it's a product invoice you've updated, any stock adjustments will also be posted at this point. The invoice is now flagged as printed and posted. If we pop into the customer's ledger, you can see that the value of the invoice has been added to the outstanding balance.